everyone, and welcome to the ScrapbookPal YouTube channel. Sarah Wiles here today, and I am playing with a combination, and I say a combination because my majority of this card is being used with the Pinkfresh Studio Breezy Blossoms collection. And I am also going to use the Honeybee Stamps Lean on Each Other stamp and die for my sentiments for these cards. And I am making 2 cards today. I couldn't help it. I picked out a color palette. It's purples and kind of the deeper corally colors that you see me doing right here on the stencils. This is actually this is Seedless Preserves and Victorian Velvet Distress Inks, or Distress Oxides, I apologize, that I am doing on this set. And this one is Abandoned Coral and Saltwater Taffy that I am using for the smaller buds. And you did see me add some tape to my background so that I could hold it down and it not shift as much. And here I'm going back in with the stencil and adding the shading that was supposed to be there because I didn't pay attention. First time using these stencils. So I went back in and added the purple shading that I had really wanted. And here I'm using that Saltwater Taffy for the base of my smaller florals. And then I'm going to go in with the Abandoned Coral for the other parts. And this right here is actually Fossilized Amber. So on the stencil, it gives you a spot that actually goes over the center of the florals and these little buds, that the little pollen pieces that come out of the end of some of the flowers. This is another stencil, and I didn't use every stencil on this panel. I did not use the very last one for the greens on this panel, but I do on the next panel. And this is Crushed Olive that I'm using on the greenery on this one. So that right there kind of finishes this one up. I'm moving things out of the way, and then I'm going to go ahead and place this one down and pull out the stencils again. And I'm kind of going to go the same route, but I'm not going to use the Victorian Velvet this time. I'm going to use the Seedless Preserves and Dusty Concord. I decided to go a little darker with some of them. I wanted a variation, and this is kind of what made me decide to do 2 cards instead of just 1. So here I'm going in with the Seedless Preserves. I did saturate so much more on the Seedless Preserves with this one. And here I'm switching over the stencil, and I am going in with the Dusty Concord to add my shading to this. Next stencil, I will pull out the Fossilized Amber again, along with the Abandoned Coral and Saltwater Taffy, because yes, I chose to keep those the same. I just really like the color combination, to be honest. And so I just figured I would continue on with it. I went ahead with my Saltwater Taffy like I did with the last set. I'm going in and doing my yellow for the centers and everything. And here's where I'll add my shading with the Abandoned Coral. I thought I was going to kind of mix those two to make it not so bright, but I figured I could figure it out, and I did. Here is the first stencil for the greenery. And I am doing Shabby Shutters for the light color on my stencils for the base. And then here in a second, I will pull the final stencil, and I am going to use Crushed Olive over the top of this one to add in some of my shading, just so that there's a little bit of variation. It's not in your face, bold, and everything like that, but it's enough to where when you're looking at the card, you can see it. So here, I'm going to go ahead and pull out the die that you can get with this stamp. So it cuts them all out individually, and I love it. So you'll see me start poking them all out right here. And all these itty bitty individual pieces come out. So just between the buds and the leaves and stuff, you can see all the little pieces. I'm going to run it through 2 different times, obviously, because I have 2 different panels. And then I will pop all those out and set them off to the side. Now, my cards are white panels, like my card bases are, but I had already had this light blue color that I thought went really, really well with these. This was just cardstock that was in my stash that already had the ovals cut out of them. And so I figured, hey, I'll use those because they go well with this. And again, I like to use things I don't like to waste. So that's one reason these panels were just sitting in my stash. I had cut something. I'm probably I probably cut the centers out for some other cards that I had made. And I just kept it because I figured I would use it eventually. So here I'm putting some foam on the back of my card panels, the part I'm going to pop up. I wanted some dimension. And so here I'm going to go ahead and put my glue on the back of this to put it down. This is Tombow Mono Liquid Multi-Glue. You can also get it on ScrapbookPal website, so you can go ahead and pick your adhesive up as well. And I keep a lot of my glue in these little containers that I had there so that they have that fine nib on the top. There I'm showing you the Honeybee Lean on Each Other stamps and dies that I'm using for my sentiments. You can also get those at ScrapbookPal. Here I am just playing. I hadn't stuck anything down. You see that everything keeps moving and it kind of agitates me. So I go to where I pull everything up. And I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'm going to just start gluing things down. So I went ahead and added my saying. It says, "You are my sunshine, my only sunshine." And so I went ahead and glued that down. And here I am grabbing pieces from each panel. That way I have a mix of both sets of color. And I'm going to add these down here at the bottom, having everything come up towards the sentiment. And here I am trimming a piece off the bottom of this one, and I'm going to add it layered down below. As you see, I am not sticking the tops of the flowers down. I am just doing the base. I do this a lot because I want movement, but I also haven't decided at this point, was I going to add some more foam so that they stay popped up. I know I wanted that one flower on the right to come over the side of my panel, and it worked out just fine. Now here I'm grabbing a couple flowers and adding them to the top as well. I'm going to just add some glue to the bottom, and then I'm going to stick this small one completely down. And then I will go ahead and grab some foam and start adding that to my card. That's what I'm doing here. I'm just going ahead and adding a little bit of foam to the back of these flowers so that they pop up a little bit, that they have some dimension, so the card is not completely flat. You see me grab my ink pad from the top of my desk just to place a little bit of weight on it. I'm going to push this card to the side while that's sitting there drying. And I'm like, okay, yep, I'm going to do a second one. So I went ahead and added foam to the back of this because, again, I wanted more dimension. And so I'm going to go ahead and add the foam around this. I want to leave a little room like I did the last one to be able to tuck some things underneath the edge. I'm going to cut a little more foam and go ahead and stick this down. And I will grab the same glue and I will go ahead and add the glue to this and place it down. Like I said, I have multiple of these little glue things. I love them, and they're so great for when you want to just get the glue in exactly one spot. Here I went ahead and grabbed my my sentiment for my card, and I'm popping my sentiment up this time, and it says, "When we lean on each other, we both stand tall." I really love this set of sentiments. They're so good, and I like the mix of the fonts as well. So I thought that they would pair great with these flowers. So I put this one in the center, and here I am adding the foam before I ever fully stick it down so I don't have to bend them back. And I'm starting with a bigger one at the top and at the bottom so that I can start out kind of even and then start building out around both of them to kind of make it more symmetrical, even though I'm not using the exact flowers on the top as I am on the bottom, but I am popping things up and leaving certain things down and tucking other things in and out. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm adding some more of the greenery over here to the right. I'm going to add another one up here to the left-hand side. Went ahead and grabbed my little tweezers because, yes, it does very much help, especially when you're trying to tuck things in here and there. And you see, I have so many florals left over. I can definitely make another card, probably two, just from the two panels that I have. And I went ahead and tucked another little piece down there. That finished with the stamping pieces. I did pull out some gold splash for this, and I am splattering it all over the tops of these cards. I wanted a little shine, and this worked perfectly. So This finishes these cards for me. I really hope that you enjoyed them. Make sure to check out ScrapbookPal.com. There's great sales going on, and there's always giveaways. Follow them on Instagram and enter. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe and come back and check out everything else all the lovely other team designers create. I really hope that you have a great day. Bye.